Hey guys, I'm gonna talk about Double or Nothing, which was this past Sunday. Um, we'll start things off with the card. First on the buy-in, the Hardys and Hook beat the Guns and Ethan Page, so now the Hardys have control of Ethan Page's contract. This was a good way for what it was to get the crowd ready for it, ready for the show. And although Jeff's that spot with Jeff's ankle looked pretty bad. Um, so yeah, hopefully it's not too serious. And moving on to the main card, we had the Casino Battle Royale for the international title. Orange Cassidy won the match. It was a pretty good one, a fun way to start the main card, and yeah, there were times where I thought Swerve Strickland was gonna win because he was really being built up, but you can't do wrong with Orange Cassidy. He's really helped the international title be better than it really had any right to be. Because I wasn't too thrilled at first back when it was the All Atlantic title when it debuted last year, but but now I'm on board with it. I mean, yeah. So overall, a pretty fun opener. And moving on, um, there was Adam Cole beat Chris Jericho in an unsanctioned match. This match was pretty underwhelming. I was expecting a lot more out of it. Although there were some good spots, but it just was not enough to really satisfy me. And because given how intense the feud was, was, I was expecting more than what I got. So yeah, this was, and a lot of people were complaining about the crowd on Twitter. I do agree they could have come more alive, and there are talks that maybe AEW should do Double or Nothing outside of Las Vegas, but we'll see. We'll have to wait at least another year to see where that goes. And then after that, FTR beat Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal to retain the tag titles. This was also pretty. This match did start off a little slow at first, but it really picked up late, and which helped it a lot. And contrary to what other people believe, I'm actually in support of Jeff Jarrett's AEW run because he's not on a because he's on a leash compared to when he was in TNA when he was almost always getting the world title specifically from like 2004 to 2006. Yeah, those days were tiresome, and at least Jeff's putting people over at this point. And Karen Jarrett hitting Aubrey Edwards with the guitar. That was one of the best ref bumps I've ever seen. Yeah. So yeah, this was pretty good. And moving on, Wardlow beat Christian Cage in a ladder match to retain the TNT title. This was better than I thought it would be. I was hoping they wouldn't put the belt on Christian so soon because the TNT title has been tossed around a lot. Wardlow won it at Revolution and then lost it to Powerhouse Hobbs 3 days later on Dynamite and then won it back a month later. So yeah, AEW does need to stop playing hot potato with the belt. And if Wardlow can be a good champion, they can finally get a good mid Carter to have a good reign with it. I will be on board with it. And afterwards, Toni Storm beat Jamie Hayter for the women's title. This really wasn't much of a match because Jamie had been working hurt, and obviously she couldn't do a whole lot, and that's why they had to cut the match short. And yeah, it was definitely not what we wanted, but obviously, like I said, there was an injury, and because Jamie was a really good champ, and I do think she'll win the belt back at All in August because that's going to be at Wembley Stadium, and the pop's going to be huge for that. And then afterwards, let's see, I'm trying to remember where. Let's see. Sorry, I just had to remember what was next. Oh, and then afterwards, the sorry for the pause. Afterwards, House of Black beat the Acclaimed to retain the trios titles. At first, I wasn't a big fan of the with the lights being out and all, but it definitely helps really take House of Black seriously as the trios champs, and I'm liking what they're doing. I mean, the Acclaimed, they're still over. I mean, they don't really need the belts to be over. So yeah, this was also pretty entertaining. I loved Max Caster's rap at the beginning. I always listen to his raps because they're always pretty funny. And yeah, moving on, Jade Cargill beat Taya Valkyrie to retain the TBS title. This was also good. This was good. I mean, the feud was actually not bad. And then Smart Mark Sterling cut a promo after the match saying that no one was going to beat Jade, and then Chris Statlander returned and then beat Jade in like 48 seconds to win the title. That was awesome. I know the plan was for her to win the belt from Jade, but then when she got hurt, I like how they. I mean, although I'm not a fan of long title reigns, I like how they intentionally pushed it out so they could have that moment. Yeah. And then afterwards, MJF beat Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara, and Jungle Boy Jack Perry in the Four Pillars match to retain the world title. This was easily the best 4-way match ever, and at least I've ever seen. And you know, there were so many near falls. It was like, oh my god, is MJF gonna lose? And the psychology and the storytelling was off the chart. And yeah, just a really good match. I mean, MJF, I think he'll be the champ for probably at least a year. I would not be surprised if he held the title, because he's mentioned the bidding war for 2024 if he decides to go to WWE. I'm really interested if they are actually going to move forward with that. So yeah. And then the main event, Anarchy in the Arena. The Blackpool Combat Club beat the Elite. My god, this match was insane. This match was better than last year's Anarchy in the Arena. And yeah, there were so many good spots. I mean, the exploding super kick onto Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and I think it was Nick Jackson. Correct me if I'm wrong. And doing a brawling in the back of a pickup truck, and then the thumbtack foot. Just, oh my gosh, this match was brutal. And then the end with Konosuke Takeshita turning heel and joining the BCC. Man, I was not expecting that. So yeah, this was amazing. Overall, Double or Nothing was good. I enjoyed it. I mean, there were some parts that kept it from being great, like the unsanctioned match, and yeah. Maybe if the crowd was a little better, this would have definitely been in the upper tier of AEW pay-per-views, but, you know, it was still a good show regardless, still worth the money, and yeah, I will give it a solid 8 out of 10. I know it's probably a bit high, but, you know, it was enjoyable. The two main events really made up for it. So, yeah, that's it. Out.